Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Umanayim shevet achim chai. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Shalom Aleichem, 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 Shalom Aleichem. Hey Matov, umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Shabbat shalom. When I'm waving throughout the audience, it is to all of you and to Melody and sometimes to Rafi, but then he'll start screaming. And so welcome on this beautiful Shabbat. We decided instead of going over to the beach and Ventura Cove, which we love, but there are no bathroom facilities there, that we would still enjoy our summer outside and instead be here in our own beautiful courtyard. And if you miss,
we never enjoy.
I know, and we need to do it more. If you miss the sand, there's a bunch behind me right here, so you can roll around in it, and then you can splash around in the beautiful waterfall reservoir, and so you'll feel just like you're at Mission Bay. But definitely cleaner. And so as we move into Shabbat, we're going to sing some songs. We're going to be lighting our candles and just decompressing from life and refilling our cup of all of the blessings and the beauty and the goodness that is this day of rest. So turn into this beautiful moment. Yes, Melody, exactly. Amen. As we welcome Shabbat as a beautiful bride with Dodi Lee. Va'ani lo haroeh b'shoshanim Dodi li. Va'ani lo haroeh b'shoshanim mikuzo min hazolah kuteret mor levana Dodi li. Va'ani lo haroeh b'shoshanim Dodi li. Va'ani lo haroeh b'shoshanim libatini achoti chala libatini chala uvini achoti chala la Dodi li. Va'ani lo haroeh b'shoshanim Dodi li. Va'ani lo haroeh b'shoshanim uri tzafon uri shema uri tzafon uvoitem Dodi li. Va'ani lo haroeh b'shoshanim Dodi li. Va'ani lo haroeh And to bring the light of Shabbat into our world, I'm going to invite up the Lawson family to light our Shabbat candles, or whichever members of the Lawson family would like to come up. Siggy is welcome as well. Come on, the Lawson family. Are you not Lawson? Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlikner Shabbat. On pages 2 and 3, we read the beautiful words that reflect on this day.
As these Shabbat candles give light to
Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them. So may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Thank you. We continue now with welcoming our Shabbat angels. There's a beautiful teaching that says every Shabbat we get visited by Malachim, by messengers of God. And one is the angel Shel Yetzer HaTov, and the other is the Malach Shel Yetzer Hara. So one is the angel, the messenger representing our good instincts. When we do the right thing, when we say the right thing, when we act in accordance with our values. And that's the angel of our good inclination, the angel Shel Yetzer HaTov. Then we have the other one, which is we lose our patience, we lose our temper, we do not act like our best selves. That's the Yetzer Hara. And so that's the messenger of that less than stellar instinct. And so the idea is that every Shabbat, they're going to hang out with us, being all judgy as angels are. And that at the end of Shabbat, when they leave, one of them will get to give us a blessing. And they each give the same blessing, which is, may next Shabbat be just like this one. And so, of course, our striving is to make sure as we welcome these angels that we're setting the right mindset so that we welcome in the angels to evaluate us and that we give ourselves the gift of earning the blessing from the angel of the good instinct, of the good inclination, that next Shabbat will be just like this one. So whatever we need to let go of, let's breathe in some Shabbat air right now. And let's breathe out an irritation. And whoever has irked us today or yesterday or the whole month long, let's breathe in some Shabbat air and choose to let go. And especially if we're thinking right now of the frustrations and the challenges we have, let's shift it. If it's with a person, a place, or a thing, think not of the irritation, but of the blessings. And as you breathe in this Shabbat air, name the blessing in your mind and breathe away the last of it. Let's welcome our angels. Page 24.
Oh no, sorry. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharei, Malachei Elyon,
HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei HaMlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Uni l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei HaMlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Zeichem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei HaMlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We go back just a bit to page 20 as we welcome in Shabbat, like the beautiful bride that she is, something that is so easy to feel and understand as we sit in this beautiful space. Lecha dodi likrat kalai, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat, nekabelai, lecha dodi likrat kalai, yalalai, yalalai, b'nei Shabbat, nekabelai, shamor vezachor, bedibur echad. Emanu-El hamiyuchad, Adonai echad, u'shmo echad, l'shem u'tiferet v'litchila. Lecha dodi likrat kalai, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat, nekabelai, lecha dodi likrat kalai, yalalai, yalalai, b'nei Shabbat, nekabelai, likrat Shabbat, lechu v'melcha, ki mekor ha'veracha, merosh mikedem mesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machsheva techila. Lecha dodi likrat kalai, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat, nekabelai, lecha dodi likrat kalai, yalalai, yalalai, b'nei Shabbat, hitoreri, ki ha'orech uri, shir daberi, kevod Adonai, alayich nigla. Lecha dodi likrat kalai, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat, nekabelai, lecha dodi likrat kalai, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat, nekabelai, yamin u'smol, tifrotzi, be'et Adonai, taritzi, al yadish, ben parzi, v'nismecha v'nagila. Lecha dodi likrat kalai, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat, nekabelai, lecha dodi likrat kalai, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat, nekabelai. We face west to the setting sun, west to the setting sun to welcome it in. Boi v'shalom ateret ba'ala, gam besimcha uvetzola. kat kala yalalai 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 Pnei Shabbat Mekabelai ai lai lai Lecha dodi li kat kala yalalai 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 Pnei Shabbat Mekabelai. We've welcomed Shabbat. Do not sit at the end of this exercise unless then you do you. But now let's turn this community of random people into a community of friends. Turn and say hello. Give someone a hug and a kiss. Ask permission before kisses. Could be awkward. But tell them something you're grateful for on this Shabbat.
Hi, Mom and Dad. Thanks for the tip about the microphone. Hopefully we
Shabbat
fixed it.
shalom. What did you thank them for? The tip about what?
My mom texted me that the mic is going in and out on the stream, so Barrett's trying to fix it.
Okay. Thank you
If
for letting us know.
I had half the ruach of that young lady.
Oh my gosh, watching
Right?
her
She
dance,
is
she was like pumped up, pump,
But she hears
pump
us
it up.
practicing at home.
Yeah.
Wish
Yeah.
I had half of her energy.
We continue on page 28 as we now face east. So everyone look at the trees and the roof. Look at that beautiful new roof.
Beautiful.
Yai lai ya la lai ya la lai 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 lai. Yai lai ya la lai ya la lai 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 lai. Yai lai ya la lai yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai ya lai 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 lai. Barechu et Adonai Hamevorach Baruch Adonai Hamevorach Leolam Leolam Va'ed Yai lai ya la lai ya la lai 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 Yai lai la la lai ya la lai 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 Yai lai ya la lai ya la lai 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 Yai lai 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 lai. You can read it. Let's read together the English at the top of page 31. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of tide, of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai your God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'ma'ariv Aravim. Page 32.
אהבת עולם בית ישראל, עמך אהבת, תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת.
אהבת עולם בית ישראל, עמך אהבת. תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, נו לימדת.
אהבנו אדוני אלוהינו, ושופטנו, וחכמנו, נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך, ובמצוותך ללעד.
אהבת עולם בית ישראל, עמך אהבת. תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, נו לימדת.
אהבנו אדוני אלוהינו, בשוכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגמר לילה ואהבתה אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. לה 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 לה
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Page 36, actually page 37. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whether you are tired or you are rested. Let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot, so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai, your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai, your God. And as we were led out of Egypt, we walked on dry land in a miracle to a far and distant shore where the whole world was born for us anew, into a place of great unknown, a place of wandering, a place of incredible challenge and difficulty, but also the place where we found our strength. And so we sing our Michamocha prayer on page 40, celebrating both deliverance and the difficulties that make our lives whole. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, kamocha nehetar b'kodesh, noratehi lo seifele, noratehi lo seifele. Malechutecha rahu vanecha, ukei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, Se'elianu ve'amru, Se'elianu ve'amru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Yai lai lai, yai la 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 la. Lai lai ya lai 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 ya lai ya lai la lai la 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 lai ya la lai lai ya la lai 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 ונאמר כי יפאר אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל. Page 42.
Hashkifenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'ha'amidenu shomeinu l'chayim. V'froz aleinu sukkot shlomecha, v'froz aleinu
Sukkot shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, from right. Amen. 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 Page 44. Excuse you. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי שבת, ישמחו במלכותך וקוראי עונג, ישמחו במלכותך שומרי שבת, ישמחו במלכותך וקוראי עונג. Vechav Hashvi Ratzita Bo Veshto Vekidashto Yismechu V'malchutcha Shomerei Shabbat Yismechu V'malchutcha V'korei Oneg ישמחו במלכותך שומרי שבת, ישמחו במלכותך וקוראי עונג. חמדת ימים אותו קראת, זכר למעשה, זכר למעשה וראשית. חמדת ימים אותו קראת, זכר למעשה, זכר למעשה וראשית. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי שבת, ישמחו במלכותך וקוראי עונג. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי שבת, ישמחו במלכותך קורא עונג. With this idea of the gift of Shabbat, we turn now to our Amidah, which is on page 46. We'll say the opening benediction together, and then we'll take some time for silent prayer through page 62. And this is a wonderful time as we bring in Shabbat, to bring in Shabbat on words of gratitude. Because on Shabbat, we're supposed to step back from asking God for things. We're supposed to step back from our wants, our needs, our stresses, our worries. As soon as someone figures out how to do that, let me know. That's why Jewish prayer is a practice, not a perfection, because we're always working at it. But let's try and shake off our worries and instead turn our hearts to gratitude. So what are the blessings that we received this week? Who did we connect with this week? Who showed up this week back in San Diego from travels far abroad? Who showed up in San Diego this week to come and be with us when our hearts were broken? So we have so many blessings. And when we forget to count them, we start to think of our lives as incredibly impoverished, when in actuality, they're incredibly rich. Even when we have difficulties, even when we have struggles and challenges. And it's not to diminish our struggles and challenges or say that they're not real or that they don't exist. It's just to make space for air, for oxygen, for happiness as well. And then we swing back and forth between the two. And that is the nature of life. So we'll rise on page 46 with face east and take some time for gratitude. Adonai sefatai tifta ufi ki tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise.
Would you all please join me on page 60 in honor of Anita?
Shalom
Shalom Al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki Atahu Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Ki Atahu Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Shalom Rav Al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Livarech בכל עת ובכל שעה לשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. When interviewing for a position at Camp Swig one summer, I think I can say this because no one will be able to put the years together because we had a few years with 900 different directors. The camp director asked me what I thought my greatest strengths and my greatest weaknesses were. And I said something that was not meaningful or relevant or real in any way whatsoever, but that I thought sounded good. And he said, no, Devorah, that's not your greatest strength and your greatest weakness. He said, because your greatest strength and your greatest weakness are always the same thing. It's two halves of the coin of your whole self. He said, and yours is your abundant passion. When you are passionate and focused in the right way, it's amazing. And when you are passionate and being difficult with me, it's not amazing. Now, I think that the difficulties that I gave this person were well deserved. And I was passionate about them, so he was not wrong. And I'll let you make guesses later. So for me, it was my passion for our camp community. That was my greatest strength and my greatest weakness. In this week's Torah portion, Parshat Akev, we find that the same is true for our Israelite ancestors. Their greatest strength, it turns out, is their greatest weakness, and back again. They are preparing to take possession of the land, psychologically getting ready. And in Parshat Akev, God and Moses remind our ancestors that they have been a stiff-necked people, and that God is going to deliver this land into their hands, but that they're going to have to discipline the land and themselves in order to overcome their stiff-neckedness. And all we need to do is read Exodus and Leviticus and the rest of Numbers, and then review it in Deuteronomy to know that this is 100% true. As Jews, we are a bit stiff-necked. But our rabbinic commentators notice that God doesn't say, in spite of your stiff-neckedness, am I going to give you this land? But you are a stiff-necked people, and you will possess this land. And so they say, with a good amount of healthy dose of ego, that doesn't sound like an insult, it sounds like a compliment. Because who else could survive 40 years of wandering in the wilderness but a stiff-necked people? And who else can survive the trials and tribulations that are to come as the process of conquering the land begins but a stiff-necked people? It is as though God knew what God was doing when God gave us a covenant that was going to lead to such a beautiful revelation of incredibly ethical laws and a process for arguing even with God to make our world and our laws ethical. But that comes with a heavy price tag. I would love to be able to one year not have to turn to, at Hanukkah, Emanu-El. I'd love to not sing that song. I'd love to not say, in every age, a hero or sage came to our aid, because in every age, some terrible group of people tried to destroy ourselves. But that is our history and seems to be our destiny. And so then we might ask, why do we stay attached to this covenant? One answer is because we're stiff-necked and we refuse to let go. We're like a dog with a bone. But that's not a compelling answer. Why do we choose to raise our children in a tradition that we know is potentially going to expose them to harm and hurt and hatred from a world that is seemingly incapable of learning its lesson over and over again? And the answer is because it is a rich treasure trove of the very best of what humanity has to offer. It is the very heart and source of ethics. Our Jewish tradition says, if you argue with God for self-betterment, God is going to open up the ground and swallow you whole. But if you argue with God for the sake of justice, then God will delight in the argument, will call you correct, and will change divinely written decrees. Now, we don't have to believe in this theology of a God who sits in the sky somewhere making terrible laws and bad decisions to appreciate that we come from a people who chose to say that that is who and what God is. And that is what I cling to. That is my own stiff-neckedness. Emanu-El is the great Israeli scholar who was the first one to figure out, for years, for centuries now, people have thought that in the book of Leviticus, the oldest text in it was the Birkat Kohanim, the priestly benediction, and the holiness code. Thought that they were the oldest texts. And Yisrael figured out through close linguistic analysis that the holiness code is actually the newest part of the book of Leviticus, the priestly handbook. Why is that significant? Because as Yisrael points out in his research, you could be a Jew who could follow every single law of the Torah and still not be an ethical person. And so our priestly class who ruled our religious lives and our ethical boundaries wrote an explicit document to say, you cannot put a stumbling block in front of the blind. You cannot stand idly by as your neighbor suffers and bleeds. You cannot harm and hurt your workers. You cannot be a bad person and then go to the temple and think that you are good. Isaiah will recapture this same sentiment when Isaiah says in God's name, Oy vavoy, your ceremonies, they're making me nauseous because you do terrible things all week and then you come to the temple and you're like, what's up, God? We're so good and look at me here being a great person. God says, do you think I don't see what you do during the week? Now, this usually is the part where I start talking about Costco as being a great example of ethics in business, and Walmart is the opposite. But I'm not going to go into that tonight because that's not what tonight is about. What I am going to say is that this idea of two halves being the same coin, this idea that our greatest challenges are our greatest strengths, is reflected in our stubbornness as a Jewish people. The kind of people who edit our sacred text in order to make sure it's ethical because we look at ourselves and think, we're kind of like Achashverosh in Purim. And what sound, Marty, do we make Rabbi Lawson for Achashverosh at our Purim reading? He gets an because he doesn't get a cheer. He's not Mordecai, and he doesn't get a boo. He's not Haman. He's some Nishka Fairlock beige in the middle. eh. And the rabbis couldn't have our sacred text be when it came to ethics. Our rabbis couldn't have us think that we were not a strong and committed people to everything that is good and righteous and holy in this world. And so on this Shabbat, when God observes and notes, listen, guys, don't think I'm giving you the land of Israel because you're all such angels. That's not why you're getting it. You're getting it because you're a stiff-necked people and because I said so. And then to know that our rabbinic tradition parsed out of that the idea that being given the blessing of self-determination and autonomy in this life comes with this incredibly strong, high, and heavy price of understanding that the direction that we flow, our abilities will determine whether they are a strength or are a weakness. And so may our stiff necks help us to be strong when the world wants to break us. Because we certainly know that people seem to be enjoying piling on these days. But to quote all of Jewish history, they have always tried to harm us. We have always survived. And so as soon as this service is over in just a few minutes, we will eat and celebrate and live life. May our stubbornness never drive us away from God and community, drive us away from hearing and being with each other. May our stubbornness always be a source of strength, be a source of survival and resiliency, that we may pass on to the next generation these same beautiful skills and raise up the next generation to be just as strong, just as creative, just as chutzpahdik and joyful Jews as we have allowed ourselves to be. May this be our blessing, and may it be God's will as it is ours. We'll rise for our Elenu at the bottom of page 282, and we will face east. Elenu leshabeach la'adon hakol,
Latino liotzer breshit, shalo asanu kekoye haratzot, v'leho samanu
Kamishpachot ha'adama, Shalom chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei
Malkei hamlachim.
HaKadosh Baruch Hu, v'nemar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. Can be deleted. Let's read together on page 292 at the top of the page. When cherished ties are broken and the chain of love is shattered, only trust and the strength of faith can lighten the heaviness of our hearts. At times, the pain of separation seems more than we can bear, but if we dwell too long on our loss, we embitter our hearts and harm ourselves and those about us. The psalmist said that in his affliction, he learned the law of God, and in truth, grief is a great teacher when it sends us back to serve and bless the living. We learn how to counsel and comfort those who, like ourselves, are bowed with sorrow. We learn when to keep silent in their presence and when a word will assure them of our love and concern. Thus, even when they are gone, the departed are with us, moving us to live as, in their higher moments, they themselves wish to live. We remember them now. They live in our hearts. They are an abiding blessing. When I read your loved one's name, we'll invite you to rise and to stay standing through our Kadisha tome so we can recognize you in your time of loss. On this Shabbat, we mark that we are in Shiva the first week of mourning for Anita Satloff Lawson, wife of Rabbi Marty Lawson, mother of Bethany and Josh and Nicole and Zoe and Tali and Siggy, aunt of so many and cousin of so many. If anyone else is in Shiva, we invite you to rise and share your loved ones' names. We mark that we are in Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning, for Bruce Fisher Gellens, father of Andy Gellens, Marty Joe Stubbs, and former husband of Maxine Gellens. Carol Sahlberg Holtz, aunt of Diana and Bill Latta. Don Davidson, husband of Phyllis Davidson, father of Ian Davidson and Richard Davidson. And Fran Silks, mother of Steve Silks and mother-in-law to Joanne Silks. If you are in Shloshim, we invite you to rise and share your loved one's name. And if you're in Shana Rishonah, the first year of mourning, we invite you to rise and share your loved ones' names. And on this Shabbat, we mark the yard sites for Betty Kaiser, Mark Shapiro, Phyllis Levine, Jimmy Puplo, Doris Scribner, Leslie Fisher, Minnie Fritz, John Kopetz, George Metzger, Philip Sarfan, Esther Friedman, Ben Soker, Jenny Gold Aliber, Samuel Bloomfield, Sam Cohen, Sidney Dankoff, Fern Hall, Al Levine, Jared Meiselman, Maxine Elmont, Bernard Godes, Harriet Freed, Michael Yellen, Abraham Harold Mosenson, Loretta Rose, Dustin Shapiro, Richard Shore, Michael Whitty, Victoria Eskenazi Yom Tov, Mel Bartel, Tilda Himmel, Ted Schulman, Sidney Greenwood, Samuel Doris, Larry Finnegan, Abner Fritz, Ida Gladstein, Max Goldsband, Giddel Rateblatt, Hermie Siegel, Eva Goldman, Kitty Park, and Larry Scott. If there are any names to be added for your yard site or corrected, please rise and share them with us. If it's your custom to rise with the mourners, we invite you to do so. Our Kadisha tome is on page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma tivarach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayachon uvyom echon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, v'agala uv'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shemei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudashah brichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama Rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Hamakom yinachem ethem b'toch sha'ar avlei Tzion v'Yerushalayim. May God console all of us who are bereaved amongst our people, our homeland, and throughout our world. And together we say,
Amen.
Amen. Zichronam livcha, may the memories of the ones that we have loved and lost continue to be a source of blessing and inspiration for us. As we come to the conclusion of our service today, especially as we think about our loved ones who have passed on doing good deeds in their names, as Anita would want us to do, I will let everyone know that this month's mitzvah of the month is Sharia's Closet, a nonprofit organization that serves individuals and families experiencing hardship throughout San Diego. This month, we're collecting for this worthy local organization, and we need women's hygiene products, shampoo and bar soap, small or medium-sized, new underwear. New, please. We have security cameras. We will know who brought what to the bin. Children's clothing, new or gently used. Men's clothing, new or gently used. Or realizing you need to downsize or upsize. This is a great opportunity to make sure those clothes go to someplace that can really use them and help people put their lives back together. And tonight we're going to close our service in just a minute. We'll do Kiddush and Motzi. And I don't know that I have any other announcements. We're through the week and we're into Shabbat. And that's pretty much it. It's in the announcement. Look on the website for fun things to do. And so I'm going to ask some of our wonderful volunteers and maybe Team Awesome alumni who happen to be hanging out to collect our Kiddush and challah and bring it out as we have our closing song being our prayer for peace.
It's in the lobby. Just in case
Oh, it's in the
anybody
lobby.
needs to know. Yeah.
Thank you. It's maybe the best or what? Say shalom bimroma, huya asay shalom aleinu. You can cuddle with your neighbor. Say shalom bimroma, huya asay shalom aleinu. Oh, say shalom bimroma, huya asay shalom. Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Olam. Oh, say Shalom Mimrama. Yaseh Shalom Aleinu, bum bum bum. Rama, hu yaseh Shalom Aleinu. Oh, say Shalom in Rama, hu yaseh Shalom. Go on the outside, Ahava, make sure everyone got. Bum bum. Yes. And then wait, and Ahava, go back that way to make sure everyone gets. Good job.